I'm influenced by a lot of different artists and musicians from all kind of different genres, from Parliament of Funkadelic to Amazing Frankie Beverly to UGK to Fat Pat to, Smashing Pumpkins to Led Zeppelin to Jill Scott. My dad was a DJ back in the Gap, so he kind of raised me on music. I remember when I was little, he had one of those rotating CD case things, you know what I'm talking about? And it would click and it wouldn't really fully rotate. He had everything, and I remember going through and I would just be over there and I would just look. I would pull the CD out and look at the booklets and shit. And I remember one shelf was like Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, right next to The Chronic, right next to a Rochelle Farrell CD, right next to like one of them Earth, Wind & Fire. I remember I was in that, when the crunk era hit, I was inundated in that shit. I was heavy on that shit. So I'd be over there listening to, Put Your Hood Up, the CD, or I'd be listening to a lot of Lil Jon, and we'd be in a car, and that's all K104, the main hip-hop station in Dallas played. So one day he just got mad. He was like, he couldn't take it. And he hadn't said shit for like the whole year. I thought he was cool with it. And he just cut it off. He's like, man, I just can't take this shit. I was like, what? He's like, it was cool at first, but it's just the same beat over and over again. I was like, man, that shit, what, man? You tripping, man. Rep your city. And he put in Go For Your Guns. So he put that in. He gave me an Essential Ozzy Brothers Greatest Hits to borrow. He gave me Jill Scott's first album, and he gave me a Houdini CD. So he gave me like an assignment, like I want you to listen to this shit. Oh, Grover Washington Jr. He gave me Mr. Magic. He said, listen to these, you know what I'm saying? Spend your time with it, let me know what you think. And I remember that, I was like in high school, like I say, 19th grade, and that kind of stuck with me. I had a phase, even myself, when I was like in elementary school, like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, where I was really heavy in alternative rock and roll. I think it was 4th grade. Metallica dropped the album Reload, and we had just got the box. My mom and I stayed in the Grove, so we had just got cable. I was crunk on that shit. I used to watch the box all day, every day. And they had a video on for Fuel. And that hoe just caught my attention, something about it, Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that with that. Ooh, it was just that whole energy. So that's what I asked for Christmas. My mama got it for me. She got me the Reload Metallica album. And then my stepdad was like, not fucking with that shit, because it looked like, it had like the sun on the cover, but it looked like some flames and shit. So what he did was he bought me Erykah Badu's live album to go along with it. And that's kind of a perfect personification to like my musical stories. It was always everything coming to me at once. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents, my papa played number blues, Bobby Blue Bland, all that shit. That's all I heard in his truck. So I love music, period. Gospel, it don't matter what it is. Only music I don't fuck with probably is country. And that's just because I wasn't raised on it. You feel me? But I'm open to it. Shit, if it's dope, it's dope.
Some of my biggest musical influences, probably the biggest would probably be Michael Jackson. Number one, just because of his performance quality. Like, he's probably one of the best performers we've seen in the game. He got on stage, he owned the stage. Like, it was him. And, he was multi-talented, he danced, he sung, he worked with one of the best producers in the game. Definitely LL Cool J for his passion on stage and his passion when it comes to performing and just being a all-around talented person in the game, acting, rapping. Will Smith for that very same reason. I feel like he's done well in all facets of the game, winning a Grammy, and hip-hop having one of the biggest television shows, and then also being one of the biggest action stars that we've seen. And then probably Jay-Z, just probably for stand alone his lyrical capabilities. I mean, I just feel like when it comes to rapping and putting words together, writing in hip-hop, he's one of the best we've ever seen. I mean, I could go on, but those are probably the biggest ones, though.
Oh, man. Some of my musical influences, it would have to be definitely people like Stevie Wonder. I heard a lot of stuff like Rufus and Shaka Khan coming up. My family, I think that goes for all of us. Like, our families are like just big into music. So gospel music. My dad listened to everything. He played drums. My uncles and aunts and everybody, they played instruments. My grandparents had like a baby grand piano in their house that I used to play when I was like 3. I played the Batman theme song on that. So I guess the Batman theme song was one of my influences. Michael Franks, like a lot of stuff. Santana. Hip hop, I got into like Timbaland and Missy and all that kind of stuff that was going on early, like mid-90s R&B, alternative rock and roll, everything, man. We just listened to a ton of stuff. Like anything that sounded refreshing, sounded new to me at the time, I was like into, and definitely fucking with it.
Just relentlessly came down here and put in the work, and I think that's just what you have to do being from Canada. I mean, I was always told to get respect in your city, you gotta leave your city, and that's something I've always done.
Don't fall in love with your creation simply because you create it. Never lose the ability to step outside of it and see if it's worth anything or if it's good from someone else's shoes.
People will very much abandon what they want because there was some part of it that they didn't have or didn't have access to or couldn't get. And it's just like, I can't do this, so I can't even, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you want it, it's what you make of it.
I've had moments where I was just like, fuck it, man, I'm in debt, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get a job, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stop with the music, you know what I'm saying? I've had plenty of moments like that, but honestly, this is what I'm passionate about, and what is success without struggle?